Hello and welcome to today's workout. Today we are all about strengthening your spine, all those muscles in your back body that are going to help keep you strong and erect with a nice tall posture. So for props, you're going to need a yoga mat, you're going to need 2 yoga blocks, and then you're going to need a band, a stretchy band, ideally one with these little circles in them, these little holes. But if you don't have that, it's not the end of the world. You can also do the exercises without the band. All right, so get all your props together and I'll see you on the mat. All right, so we are starting with 2 yoga blocks on the mat, and I'm going to place them vertically, one on top of the other. All right, from here I'm going to lie down with my pelvis at the edge of the lower block and my rib cage coming up to the edge of the top block. And it's kind of supporting my whole torso in this way. All right, from there, we're going to start with a really straight legs, and I don't want you to externally rotate too much. I want you to think about internally rotating the hips just enough so that you can feel the inner thighs engage, and you've got the tops of your feet on the mat as opposed to the insides of your feet. So slight internal rotation, and then we're going to lift the legs up. And then likewise, you're going to lift the arms up. So you are balancing here, and you will feel that this is quite a lot of work in the spine. If it is too much, you can always drop the hands and work just the legs, or you could drop the legs and work just the arms. All right, so you got some options. We are balancing, trying to keep the legs as straight as possible. And now lift. Lift, keep lifting the hands to the corners of the room and the feet to the corners of the room. Straighten out those arms, lift them up. Try not to lower them down below the ears. Try and keep them in line with the ears and straight. Lengthen and lift. And come down and relax. All right, so that was our first set. We're going to be doing 2 more sets with a slight difference in each set. All right, so take a breather. It's pretty intense, fighting directly against gravity, using back muscles, which are most probably not the strongest parts of your body at the moment, or even in general, very small muscles. So really use your glutes, which are nice, big, strong, powerful muscles, and your hamstrings to help you here. All right, but just think about all the good this is doing for your spine. Let's do a second set. So if you did only arms or legs, you can switch it around now for this set. So lifting up, slight internal rotation, arms come up, balance. All right, keeping the arms exactly where they are and not doing anything with the arms. We're just going to bend one knee and straighten, and then the other and straighten. So you're fighting here with your balance as well as fighting against gravity. So a little tricky. So you can really feel the glutes and hamstrings activate as you bend the leg. That's what we want. Try and lift that knee up higher to the ceiling. So still trying to get legs and arms up really high as you can while you are doing this. So if your legs aren't going as high as mine, please don't worry. You're still getting benefits just by lifting them even slightly off the floor. Last one here, and relax. Good, okay, so no doubt you are feeling that in your body. So for the third set, we're going to be bending both legs at the same time. It is tricky to balance, so, if you fall down or whatever, don't worry about it. It's part of the fun of this workout. Okay, take one last recovery breath here. It is pretty intense. And let's go for our third set. Arms and legs, get your balance. Arms stay exactly where they are, and now both legs bend. So you might be wobbling all over the place. It's so normal. Just go slow. Slight internal rotation. So the toes should not be touching when you bend, because if they do, it means you've been externally rotating a bit too much. So try internal rotation. Keep lifting up higher. Fight that balance, wobble all over. Last one. Straighten, lift everything higher and relax. Whew. Okay, really good. Okay, you can remove one of your blocks. If you've got a band, you'll use it now, and if you don't worry, it's not essential. It's just something a bit nice to feel. So if you do have a band with these holes, you can start out with your band, your foot in the very end circle, but this is quite a light resistance for me, so I'm going to go about 2 circles in, and I'm going to, so that my feet are about hip width apart, I'd say. But you can play around with this and just do what works for you. So now from a vertical block, we're going horizontal, and I want you to rest your pelvis on that. And then the arms are in Sphinx. So with Sphinx, we're not collapsing into the shoulders. We are pushing the floor away from us. And I want you to think about scooping, trying to pull your heart through your hands so that you're lengthening. Think about doing an abdominal stretch. So we're trying to lengthen the front side of our body as we contract the back side. So now we're going to lift the legs up nice and high and pull the band apart. And I find that what this does is it just takes some of the pressure out of the back and forces the glutes to engage a little bit more. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do little lifts. And as you lift, you're pulling the band apart. So I'm thinking also about stretching my abdominals. So each time I lift my legs and pull the band apart, I am stretching my abdominals. Good. Keep going, little almost pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good. So if this is pretty intense in the spine, you can lower the legs or just focus more on separating the legs. So really pull them apart, abduction. And that's going to force the glutes to engage, and meaning that the glute muscles are going to be doing a lot of the effort instead of just the back muscles. All right, even if you don't have a band, you can still really focus on abducting the legs. So for our second set, we're going to lift the legs up and hold and just open the legs. All right, so Sphinx position, push the floor away from you, lengthen abdominals, lift up the legs, inhale, exhale, pull apart for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good, and then for our third set, we're going to be creating a W with our legs. So we're going to be bringing them in and up and out and up and in and up and out and up, like we're doing a little W shape. All right, so third set, Sphinx. Push the floor away from you, lengthen abdominals, lift up, open the legs out, and let's go. Down and in, down and out, down and in, down and out. Good. Lifting in that W shape. Good. For 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Good, and just take a moment to relax. We will unwind all of this in just a sec, but not yet. You can now remove the block and the strap. You don't need either of those anymore. And now we get to our toughest exercise yet. We're going to do 2 sets, a smaller one and then a bigger one. We're going to be rocking like a boat. So exactly the same, arms and legs up, just like what you've been doing. Aim for that slight internal rotation in the legs. The legs don't have to be together, but they can't be too wide apart. Likewise, arms not touching, about shoulder width apart, and lengthen. And we are keeping our back muscles contracted to keep our body in this boat shape, almost like a little bowl on a counter that's rocking backwards and forwards. So we're not ever coming into a flat position. So we're never coming down like this. All right, we are always going to be in this position. We're just rocking up and down. So we're going to do small rocks for the first set, 10 of them, and big giant rocks for the second set, 10 of them. All right, so I hope I don't bash my mic. So a great way is just to start with the legs, and off you go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, not so bad, right? Good. Okay, so for the second set, as I come up, I'm trying to bring my hands up to the ceiling. So we're almost going into this position and then trying to reverse that, trying to get the legs up to the ceiling. So really big, giant rocks. Don't worry, there's no risk of you rocking right over or anything like that, but you are using momentum to really help you. So the more you can forcefully drop yourself down and swing the legs up, then when you reverse it will be easier to bring the upper body up. So use that momentum to your advantage. Okay, we're going to do 1 or 2 rocks to just get the momentum going, and then we'll start counting our 10. Last exercise. All right, let's go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax. All right, there you have it. So just coming up onto a seated position, let's do a child's pose to unwind. Feet together, knees open wide, and forward fold. Just relaxing your forehead on the mat and allowing the body to melt and soften, releasing that spine from all the work. And just relax. So try not to hold on to anything. If this feels good, you can bring the knees together. And this just deepens the rounded shape in the spine. You can feel for pushing upper back up to the ceiling, tailbone down to the floor. Just release the spine. And then I like to just sort of rock my hips like I'm walking it out in this position. Just rocking side to side. Good. Suck in the stomach. Slowly rolling up. And the last thing, to just completely release the spine. Hands press into the floor, knees squeeze together. Inhale, exhale. Hug those knees in. Hug it in. If you like, you can try and lift up the feet also. Otherwise, feet down, knees up. And just release. Good. All right, so there you have it. A nice, brief but intense back strengthening workout. If you would like more workouts like this, please let me know in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed it. I will then see you in our next workout together. Bye for now.